Hey, Radical, did what we do.
Hey, what's going on, fam? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we're gonna go ahead and drop some jewels on this one. We're gonna go ahead and pretty much open up the vault, and we're going to give you guys some of the most gate-kept plugin information ever. We're gonna go ahead and do today, as you guys see on the title, we're gonna be going through my top 5 Waves plugins of all time. Now we're talking about the company Waves. In case you guys don't know who Waves are, I mean, it's a company that's been around for a long time, and for a long time too, their plugins were pretty much a must at every commercial studio that you will go to work. And their plugins were just so widely used, and they have been used in so many hit songs. Even though I do have a bunch of plugins from a bunch of other vendors and plugin manufacturers, I still, to this day, frequently still go back to Waves plugins for a lot of things all the time. But anyway, we're gonna get right into it. So we're gonna start with this top 5 of my personal favorite top 5 Waves plugins of all time, and I will start with the number 5, and that's gonna be the SSLG channel strip. And I really like this channel strip because it's very forgiving on CPU. And on a lot of DAWs, you can have almost your whole entire mixer with an individual instance of this plugin running. And so I really like that. I sometimes still go back to this old school one instead of the Evo or some of the newer ones because of that same reason. This one here is just very forgiving on the CPU, and it has such a great tone, and you know, I still just love it to this day. Yeah, guys, continuing on, at number 4 is gonna be, it's like a new entry to me in my workflow, a routine, and that's gonna be CLA Guitars. Now, why do I like CLA Guitars? Well, CLA Guitars is mainly used for guitars, I would say. That, I'm guessing that's the intention. However, I love to throw these on vocals or even any instrument that's sounding kind of dull to me, maybe like a synth that's not like one of the best ones. I pretty much will run that into a channel, and I will slap this CLA Guitars, and then in this same, inside this one plugin, I have drive, I have reverb, I have delay. I can pick the note of the delays. I can be real specific about it, and then it just little consistent things that before we will have to like create extra channels and have buses and this. And I feel like with this CLA Guitars plugin, you get to pretty much like just cut a lot of time, throw that same flavor, you know, whether it's a dancehall guitar or a vocal, you name it. It's just one of those things where you throw it on it, and then right there, you know, you got magic happening. Alright, fam, and then at number 3, again, kind of like a new entry. You know, Waves always keeps innovating and developing things that just kind of take you off guard, and you know, it's one of those things that like you didn't know you really need it until you have it, and then after you have it, you're like, yeah, this is a nice little addition to my arsenal. And before you know it, it becomes part of your regular workflow. Now, what plugin am I talking about here? As you guys see right there, I'm talking about VocalRider.
To move on, are you mad? My new love is so strong, better than you in every way. I'm here to say you did me favor when you walked away.
VocalRider is such an interesting plugin. This plugin is meant to save you hours and hours of painstaking time listening to the song over and over, and basically automating, you know, join with the volume. As you're automating volume into a vocal to make the vocal kind of like keep up with the music as it's crescendoing. Well, that kind of process is something that's not new, and for a long time that would take a long time. And just with this VocalRider plugin, plugin. Personally, I was pretty skeptical about this when I heard about it, and then when I actually tried this and started using it on my songs as I was working on them, I've realized that it was just giving the vocal, for example, a consistency. Like, it really does what it meant to do. And if you feel like it's still making the vocal a little too low or too high, you can always do an overall tweaking so that you kind of get it perfect how you want it, and that VocalRider will kind of like keep that vocal riding on top of the music, and thus the name VocalRider. This thing will make your vocal ride the beat all the way to the end in a consistent way where you don't have to mess with automation, and that's why this is number 3 on my top 5.
Get used to me.
Alright family, for the number 2 plugin of my top 5 Waves plugins of all time, it's gonna have to be TrueVerb. I'm pretty sure you old school heads, been using TrueVerb for a long time. Now, why TrueVerb? I really love the color that TrueVerb adds to things, whether it's to a master vocal mix bus, or whether it's to a send bus in FL Studio while making beats and just sending some synths right through it to give it some depth and whatnot. Now, the main thing I really love about TrueVerb, and my personal favorite part about it, is a preset called New York Plate. I love New York Plate. It gives it like a high quality sounding kind of vibe to it, and in reality, New York Plate for me is kind of like a starting point. I start at New York Plate, and then I begin to tweak to just kind of make it more unique, and basically a good starting point for me to start from. And yeah guys, it's just one of those things. I've used it for so long.
Get used to me. 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 It's hateful bass.
So yeah guys, that's number 2, TrueVerb.
Cause it's hateful bass.
But yeah guys, we got to the end. This pretty much is the last one on the list. This is the top 1 of my personal favorite top 5 Waves plugins of all time. And again, I'm dropping some jewels here. And before I do, if you made it this far, please do make sure to like and subscribe. But without further ado, the top number 1 plugin in my top 5 Waves plugins of all time is gonna have to be C1 Compressor, guys. Okay, now why C1? Why C1? Well, C1 Compressor, this one has a preset called Classic Compressor. It's funny, right? It's a classic plugin to me at this point, but I've been using this plugin for a long time when the plugin itself wasn't classic. But back then, I was still using the Classic Compressor preset. I just love it. I'm gonna tell you like this, guys, and this is why I made this number 1. If you're not that good at mixing, and you kind of like are willing to try something new to see if you get your stuff to just sound maybe a little bit better, or just more consistent, or even to the point where like you might end up have people paying you for mixes, I will tell you like this: just for kicks, why don't you run all your vocals through this Classic Compressor setting on the C1 compressor, and then run all that, and make sure you got that with a limiter, the L1 perhaps from also Waves, and then just make sure you got that kind of like at a threshold. I promise you, your voices are gonna sound super controlled, clean, consistent. It's not gonna have a lot of things to clip. It's not gonna have a lot of spikes on the waves that will require clipping or things like that. It's gonna create a more consistent file once you process it, which I do recommend you to do. It's one of those things where like this C1 compressor has been one of my most used plugins, especially the Classic Compressor preset, which again I also is my starting point on the preset. I just start the preset where it gives it to me. Initialize, I pretty much go to this preset and then I go from there. And yeah guys, it's just what it does. That's why it's number 1 on my list, and just because I've used it for like seems like forever.
This is what we found.
Alright guys, that's gonna go ahead and do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please do make sure to slap a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Make sure you turn notifications on so you don't miss out on my future uploads. Hope you guys are having an awesome day out there. And with that one, I'm outie fam. Peace.